Hi guys, hope you're having a great weekend. Okay, today I want to talk about in the winter, in the fall, when we're wearing our heavy jackets, how to carry our knife. Because we don't think about it during the summertime, we put our knife onto our belt, right? And that's how we carry it. And that works just fine. But what happens when you go put a jacket on? Like this. And now, if my knife is on my belt, it's underneath my jacket. Well, now I always got to pull my jacket up, get a hold of my knife, pull my knife out, and it becomes a hassle, don't it? To be able to put the knife back without cutting my jacket, and more importantly, without sticking me. And so having the knife to easily get access to and put it back. Now in the past, you saw a lot of bushcrafters, me included, wear a neck knife a lot of times. And this is mine. This is that old Moore I've had forever. And all I did, it's still inside of its plastic sheath. And what I did was I took paracord and I made a neck lanyard for it. And in a lot of my very earliest videos, back around 2008, 9, etc., I'm wearing this because that was the way I carried my bushcraft knife. It was quick and easy to get to, no problem. And when I'm wearing a coat like this, I could simply tuck it to the inside so it's not going to hang up on anything, not going to tangle up on nothing, and I didn't have any worries about it getting in my way or something hooking and choking you. And let me address that for just a second, because I know somebody's going to say it in the comments. Yes, there is always, always, always the possibility that something is going to happen. Anything around your neck that is not easily broken away could somehow, in a hypothetical situation, sliding down a bank, falling down a cliff, whatever, get hung up and choke you. Yes. So having a paracord lanyard on this, somebody's going to say, Blakey, that's wrong, it should snap. This is thin plastic, first off. Second, on it, I tuck it inside. I'm not in that kind of terrain where I got a big risk of falling, tumbling, and things like that. And third, we can what if ourselves into staying at home scared of our own shadow. Is it possible? Absolutely yes. I can be standing here right now and a meteorite can hit me and kill me stone cold dead. Is it probable? Not so much. Could it happen? Yes. So I got to be mindful of it. So like I said, I typically, when I was going to be doing a lot of stuff right here, where I was going to be needing the knife, yeah, this is a great way to carry it. Quick and handy. And then put it up. But then whenever I'm not going to need it for a while, why not just take it off and stick it in the haversack, see? I can just put it out and put it right back on if I needed it a lot. If I just need it once in a blue moon, I could just simply take it off my head and stick it into the haversack. Nice and easy. Doesn't weigh nothing, fold it up, stick it into the haversack. And I did that quite a bit. That was a way of carrying it and utilizing it. Excuse me. And I still like this knife and still use it quite a bit for detail work, small stuff, things like that. It's a great knife and I enjoy it. But let's talk about a belt knife. Now the knife that I carry, of course, is my WC Blackbird. Either this or my WC prototype, same basic knife, just a little narrow one. And I use a StitchGear.com 6-way sheath. Now the reason I use a 6-way sheath is all the different hanging points, ways I can carry it. And one of it you always see me doing like this is the belt loop. But you notice all of this, okay? I can also, if I'm wearing an extra belt on the outside of my jacket, I could put this through there and carry this Cheyenne style, like that, for a cross draw situation. I could also unhook these two straps right here, move this up and drop it down to a dangler like that, like a fast draw holster in the Old West, and drop it further down my thigh. And that's the idea, because if I drop it further down here, like onto my thigh, I can get it because it's not underneath the jacket. See, up here is under the jacket, down here is not. I got free access to it. I can just hook the leg loop around my leg so it isn't flopping on me as I walk. It'll go with my leg. a lot like an old Western holster would do for carrying an old single action or a cabin ball revolver. And so that works really, really well. But there are other ways to carry these as well. Now, with the Blackbird haversack, the strap can be detached, right? That means I can actually hang this on my Blackbird on the side of it, just like that, and have access to it with my haversack. It will go on that way. Another way is having some sort of extra strap that I can add to this. Now, by taking this and simply hooking it like so to the existing leather strap, I'll get my hand to wrap around and get a hold of it. There we go. I can now have a strap where I can carry it. Strap on, I can carry it as a dangle onto my side like this. So it's handy, but I can pull it out real quick and grab it. So even if I'm wearing a big coat, I might have to take my gloves off, I could grab to it. Or maybe I don't need to take off gloves, I can grab to it. But it's available and it's handy. You can also cinch it up a little bit different, have a little different way to do it. Famous muskrat skid Poteet, he likes a checked rig. And you see him all the time carrying his Blackbirds and stuff up here like this. And this works just fine like that. Grab a hold of the strap. There we go. This is a little too long. I haven't adjusted it for this. I'm just demonstrating. So up here in the middle of the chest, diagonal might be a way to go for you. And a lot of guys like this, as well, especially they can just slide it up under an arm when they need the front or back to it. Some guys might even want to make something that actually tucks it up under the armpit like that. Perfectly viable. But what if you don't have one of these fancy sheaths by Randy Smith up at StitchGear.com? Like I don't have a 6-way sheath like that. What can I do? Well, what you can do is this. This is that Condor. All I've done is added a soft shackle to the belt loop. Now the Condor came originally with a dangler. Up here at the top of the loop there was a round ring that went up to a piece of leather that went around your belt and snapped. This particular one when I got didn't have that, but you can make it yourself with just a soft shackle. Now by doing this I can go over my belt and drop it down a couple of inches, or I could hook to a belt loop and drop it down a couple of inches, because when I hook it, I want it, let me hook, there. I want it to be about like that, so that when the jacket is down, it's right there at the edge, so I can see it, and it'll be easy to grab and pull, see? I could pull the knife out, I could put it back. I could twist around here, grab hold of the knife, pull the knife out, easily put the knife back safely, and drop it back down. All of that with a dangler, just by hooking that loop around the belt loop. Now, I don't want it slapping my leg, Blackie. Well, that's the reason I got that lower loop right there, so I can put a leg tie onto it to hold it to my thigh, like I talked about doing my Blackbird. When we're wearing bulky winter coats, it kind of makes it a little difficult to pull and get to our knife, because if it's on a belt, it's buried under the coat. Also, our hands are cold and numb, okay? You dig out like this, and now the jacket is big old wad out like this, and I'm trying to get it up here to get to my belt, and I can't see, and my hands are numb, I can't feel real good. And so I'm going to take that razor sharp knife and pull it out, utilize it, and then I'm trying to bullseye a hole and not stick myself. So, I recommend a dangler. And whenever I make the transition to winter like this, I'm wearing my field jacket. It's turned cold. Right now it's 59 degrees here in Alabama. That's going to be the high today. And I'm out just doing a little bit of woods wandering. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to put it onto the strap of my Blackbird. So it's right here, easily available, and I can grab it in a hurry. If I was going to be using this knife like you, I would simply take it and hook it to a dangler that I make up myself, simply a piece of paracord turned into a twist tie, hang it in there. Now, why are you hearing all this shooting? Last weekend was the beginning of hunting season in Alabama. This weekend is all them guys that went hunting last weekend didn't hit nothing. Now they're at the shooting range today trying to sight in the guns for the big hunt tomorrow. And they waited to the last second and they never checked their guns and they never sighted them in. Happens every year. And so now these guys are up here blazing away trying to sight in scopes and everything else at the shooting range, trying to get it dialed in. Meanwhile, old coops like me that have already took the time and got all our guns dialed in back in September, we went hunting this morning. And we're going to go hunting right after this video. I'm going to drive to the house, grab my rifle, and I'm going to jump off in the woods for a couple hours. It's nice and wet and cool and miserable. Perfect day to go stalking and see what we can find. But back to carrying a knife in the wintertime where it's easy access and safe is the important thing. So you want to put the knife in some way that I can get to it and not have a burden putting it back. In my opinion, the dangler is the way to go. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button before you go. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.